Hello and welcome to another update video about Quant. Quant seems to be largely unaffected by the drop that we had in the markets today. Bitcoin dropped quite strongly, Ethereum dropped quite strongly, but Quant continues to be in our channel here. We talked in the last video about the fact that Quant needs to break out, first of all, out of this target area to the downside to indicate that we are heading lower. Now that has not happened yet. And also it would need to break ideally below the channel to indicate that this movement to the upside is over. But as you may remember, we talked about there is probably another leg coming to the upside. Now, what I don't know, because there are different options how to count this. What I don't know is this wave 3 now already over? Yeah. And this wave 4 already in, and we are pushing already up in wave 5, or is the wave 3 already done? This is extremely difficult at the moment to forecast, because depending on, and I mentioned it in the last video, depending on how I count this, there could still be, even in this third wave, one more leg coming up. Let me explain. I admit there's quite a few lines now on the chart, but we want to keep it real here. Now at the moment, I do have here this wave count where we say that the wave 4 in this move to the upside was a triangle, A, B, C, D, E. But I did explain in the previous video that it could very well be that we have another 1, 2 setup here, that this was just an A, B, C, and then we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was then the wave 3. Then we have here a 4 and the wave 5. This would then only finish off this fifth wave. Yeah. Is that correct? Yes, it's correct. And then this would be a 3. Then there will be the 4 and the 5. So what that really means, simplified, is that we can certainly push higher here still. But eventually the correction will come. Yeah. And anybody who missed buying in, maybe anybody who, maybe you took profits too early. Yeah. But even what my personal view is, if I take profits in such an uptrend, I either take profits in batches, so I don't sell everything. Yeah, I take profits in batches, because such a move to the upside can always overshoot targets and go a bit higher. But to be fair, originally, I've extended the target area here now to $187 in the previous video. Originally it was here at 167, so we haven't even gone above that actually. But I think it could. Yeah, and therefore I'm already telling you before it happens that this could push quite a bit higher, especially as long as we are in the channel. Yeah, so either taking profits in batches or moving up a stop loss, or just simply waiting for a signal that it's coming down, which would be a break out of the channel. Now there is no right or wrong here. To be honest, taking profits, nobody got poorer by taking profits. There will most likely always be another entry anyway. But yeah, I try to, when we come down in these waves here, I try to scale in batches and I try to scale out in batches. Now, Quant here, I just want to mention that because I just made a Chili's video. Quant down here at this low of the wave 2 hit the 50% fib retracement. That is exactly the level that in its wave 2 the Chili's chart has reached today. Now I'm not telling you that for definite Chili's is going to turn out as Quant, but it is just a possible signal. I'm just telling you that, okay? But refer to my Chili's video, please. But yeah, I think we can certainly push higher. Again, what I don't know is if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it nearly looks like it. Let's just draw the fibs and see if that how far we came down. Yeah, we came down here into the area between the 38.2 and the 50% fib level. So yeah, to be honest, it could very well be that. And let me take the triangle out. That we had, now I need to think, the wave 4 was actually here. Yeah, so it was an A, B, C, and that we then had here the wave 1. This was the wave 2, and then we have here a 1, 2, So here another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you go to the lower time frame, you can actually count 5 waves there. And this would be the top of the 3. This would be the 4, and the 5th wave is still coming. This 5th wave would finish off the higher degree 5 and the higher degree 3. And only then we get down in a 4. And then we move up in a 5. Now, that is how it could turn out with a high likelihood. In that case, I wouldn't count this as a triangle. It all comes down to, do I count this as a triangle or not? If I count it as a triangle, we will not get this additional high, yeah, in the 5th wave. And as a 1, 2, 1, 2, we will get it. So, you know, we don't really know, really. But at the moment, what I can tell you, it's holding quite well. It's holding quite nicely compared to some other coins. And we haven't really seen a signal we are coming down. There was no overlap between waves 1 and 4. We have not really substantially left the target area, and we haven't broken the channel to the downside. And as long as that is all intact, you know, I think we're going to push higher. But again, there will be a wave 4 dip as well, maybe to the lower support of the channel, and then possibly a last push to the upside. Important to understand, we already have here a bit of a bearish divergence starting from that high to that high. You can see that we made a slightly lower high on the RSI on the 4 hour. Now that doesn't mean we have to come down straight away, but it's always a signal that things are starting to change a bit. Okay, we had a similar situation here where we made that lower high and then we started to roll over. Okay, so I mean, we're getting sort of towards the end, but this doesn't mean it has to be over straight away. It pushes probably still a bit higher and then comes down. That would be my call here about Quant. And because a few people have asked, what would be sort of my target for the next all-time high? Now we're far away from that, but let's just put that onto the screen. We do talk about it sometimes, but I always forget that there are a lot of new viewers, and we use that and we do that based on the Elliott wave method, calculate targets based on Fib levels. Target for the next all-time high would be at least $732, possibly all the way up to $900. In a third wave, a larger third wave, and then in a larger 5th wave, we could even reach the $1,100 level. Okay, so there is quite a bit of movement possible here with Quant. Yeah, and that's my update about Quant. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then also check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.